My Gavanan folks. Today we have the integral from 0 to pi over 2 of x squared over sine x dx. And I know what you're thinking. This does not even look remotely similar to the wacky kind of integrals we normally do here. However, looks are indeed deceiving, and this thing has a really cool solution development, an awesome final result, and you could solve this using integration by parts, but that is an extremely labor-intensive and boring calculation, so we're not going to go over that whatsoever. We're going to invoke complex numbers because they make everything extremely awesome. We have the sine function here, and this thing has a really cool definition in the complex realm. Recall that sine x is defined as e to the ix minus e to the negative ix over 2I, which implies that I here can be expanded as 2I times the integral from 0 to pi over 2, x squared over e to the ix minus e to the negative ix dx. Now that looks like a Maths 505 integral. But the question is now, how on earth are we going to solve this thing? Well, to start off, we could expand using e to the negative ix. So we have 2I integral 0 to pi over 2 x squared over e to the ix minus e to the negative ix times e to the negative ix over e to the negative ix dx. And all of this means we have 2I times the integral from 0 to pi over 2, x squared times e to the negative ix, terribly sorry about that, over 1 minus e to the negative 2ix dx. And the structure we have now is suitable for a series expansion, specifically the geometric series. We can expand 1 over 1 minus e to the negative 2ix as the sum over k from 0 to infinity of e to the negative 2ikx, which implies that I here equals 2I times the integral from 0 to pi over 2 x squared e to the negative ix, sum over k from 0 to infinity, e to the negative 2ikx dx. Now these two out here are of course independent of the index variable k, so we can take them inside and multiply, by which we have 2I times the integral from 0 to pi over 2, sum over k from 0 to infinity, x squared, and on multiplying the exponentials, we have e to the negative ix times 2k plus 1 dx. We'll now switch up the order of the integration and summation operators to get I equal to 2I times the sum over k from 0 to infinity, integral 0 to pi over 2, x squared e to the negative ix, 2k plus 1 dx. Now, before moving forward, I'd like to take a look at the exponential function we have. We have e to the negative ix times 2k plus 1, and we know from Euler's formula that we can expand this as cosine of 2k plus 1x minus I times sine of 2k plus 1x. And we have a 2I term being multiplied as well, so I'm going to expand using that. We have 2I e to the negative ix, 2k plus 1, equal to 2I cosine 2k plus 1x. I times I is I squared negative 1, so we have plus 2I, plus 2, that is, the sine. Terribly sorry about that, I am quite tired right now. Twice the sine of what? We have sine of 2k plus 1 times x, and this looks pretty cool. So I here equals what now? We have the sum over k from 0 to infinity. Invoking the linearity of the integration and summation operators, we have the sum over k of the integrals from 0 to pi over 2 of x squared times cosine of 2k plus 1x dx times a factor of 2I out here. And we have another integral sum combo that's twice the sum over k from 0 to infinity. Terribly sorry about that. Integral 0 to pi over 2 x squared times the sine of 2k plus 1x dx. And as a bit of a side quest and some homework, first consider what the integral I was defined as. This thing equals the integral from 0 to pi over 2, x squared over sine x dx, which is obviously a real number. The same goes for this thing, the integral of x squared times the cosine function. This thing is a real number. And outside of the sum of integrals, we have a factor of 2 times I, which means this thing belongs to the set I times R. So this thing is purely imaginary. This gives us a hint that this thing should converge to 0, and indeed it does. And this would be a very nice little homework problem for you guys to prove that this thing does indeed converge to 0, and the target integral I is just twice the sum over k from 0 to infinity of the integrals from 0 to pi over 2 x squared sine of 2k plus 1x dx, which we're going to solve using some integration by parts. We'll invoke the DI method, taught and loved by Sensei Black Pen Red Pen. So for differentiation purposes, we have x squared and we have sine of 2k plus 1x over here, 2x, 2, and 0. And we have cosine of 2k plus 1 times x over 2k plus 1, and I might need a bit more space here. Then we have sine of, no wait, negative sine over here. Yep, positive sine over here, but still negative. So sine of 2k plus 1x, terribly sorry about that, over 2k plus 1 squared. And then for the 0 term, we have what now? We have negative cosine 2k plus 1x. And again, I'm forgetting basic integration. The two negatives cancel out, over 2k plus 1 cubed. And this looks nice so far. We have alternating plus and minus signs. This thing goes there, this thing goes there, and that thing goes there. The first term is quite easy to evaluate. The limits are 0 and pi over 2. So as x approaches 0, the x squared term goes to 0 and it collapses. Then we have cosine of 2k plus 1 times pi over 2. K being non-negative means that we have cosine of some odd multiple of pi over 2. So this thing will collapse to 0, as in we can neglect the first term altogether. But the remaining terms are much more interesting. We have negative 2x, but wait, the two negatives cancel out, two negatives cancel out. Again, it's a overall, it's a plus sign. There's a plus sign outside. Let me just zoom out a bit so I can actually see everything, including factors that I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss somewhere along the video. This means that we have I equal to twice of what now? Well, we have 2x times sine of 2k plus 1x over 2k plus 1 whole thing squared. Limits are 0 and pi over 2. And then we have one more term here. That's a plus sign again. So that's plus 2 cosine 2k plus 1 x, which looks dope, over 2k plus 1 cubed. Again, limits are 0 and pi over 2. Now, what on earth is sine of 2k plus 1 pi over 2? This thing is just the sine of some odd multiple of pi over 2. So this thing equals negative 1 to the k. For k equal to 0, yeah, you should get a plus 1. Yep, checks out perfectly. And what is the cosine term? We just saw that that thing is 0, but the cosine of 0 is 1. So that means we do have a surviving term over there. So I here equals, for the upper limit, we have 4 times, what exactly? Pi over 2 times negative 1 to the k over 2k plus 1 whole thing squared. And for the 0 limit, of course, we have a 0 because x and sine both go to 0. There's some cancellation straight up. Awesome to see, as always. And god damn it, I forgot that there's a sum. There's a sum operator. I knew I was about to forget something, but I didn't know it was going to be that serious. There you go, a big old summation operator there. And of course, invoking linearity means that I will first need to fix something over. I'm just going to rewrite it all. So I equals twice the sum over k from 0 to infinity, pi over 2 times 2 again, so that's 4, but then there was cancellation. 2 times pi, oh wait, 2 pi outside, negative 1 to the k over 2k plus 1 whole thing squared. That is beautiful. Plus twice of what? No, wait, it's 4 times something. It's 4 times the sum over k from 0 to infinity. Cosine of 0 is 1, and there's a negative sign because that's the lower limit, so negative sign over here. And we have 1 over 2k plus 1 whole thing cubed. Absolutely beautiful scenes here, because the first thing you have on the right-hand side is the original top g, that is Catalan's constant. So I here equals 2 pi times Catalan's constant minus 4 times something quite interesting. This here is related to Apéry's constant, or zeta 3. And if you were to take Apéry's constant, that is the sum over k from 1 to infinity of 1 over k cubed, and decompose it over even and odd values of k, you would have the sum over n, let's say, from 1 to infinity of 1 over 2n cubed. So that's 1/8 of the sum of 1 over n cubed, which is just Apéry's constant again, plus the sum over k starting from, or rather n here, starting from 0 to infinity. Yeah, that checks out. That includes 1 over 1 cubed. 1 over 2n plus 1 cubed, which is our target sum. So you have Apéry's constant here, zeta 3, and Apéry's constant here times 1 over 8, which means that the sum over n from 0 to infinity of 1 over 2n plus 1 cubed equals 7/8 of zeta 3, which is, again, beautiful. Multiply that by 4 and you get 7 over 2. So this implies that I, which was defined as the integral from 0 to pi over 2, terribly sorry about that, x squared over sine x dx equals 2 pi times Catalan's constant minus 7/2 of Apéry's constant. Absolutely beautiful. I am exhausted. Hit the like button, share this beautiful result for the good of humanity and for the sake of the free peoples of Middle Earth. Thank you. See you next time.